Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to test our application. The last code we wrote, I didn't test it, so we're going to test it in this video. And also we are going to add one more feature, which is to calculate the timestamp of the other user. So if the user is online, it shows the user is online. If the user is offline, it will show how long ago the user was offline. Okay, so the application is running here. I already tested the former code I wrote and it's working perfectly. So if I click on Raymond Reddington, it should show the chat screen and then show the profile image of Raymond Reddington and the name, and then it also says online, but this is just a text I wrote there that is just showing online. It's not the actual online from the database. Okay, so now what I'm going to, okay, I haven't made any unclose listener for this button. As you can see, this the second person in the row is not showing up. That is because it's the current user ID, and because in the chat application I did no in the adapter itself, there's a user adapter. The if statement I wrote there, I already removed this, so the application started from the last time that it was built. So to get started, to add the library to calculate the timestamp, I have a library here called Curious Take Zen and Android Ago or Time Ago. So this library will be used to calculate the current timestamp of the user. Now make sure to add this library to your Android project. So you with that you have to open up the build.gradle application level, and then you can paste it there. This is mine, I've already done it. And make sure you change the compile to implementation. So after this it should be done. And don't forget to hit sync. Don't forget to hit the sync button after you finish. Now in the chat activity, this is where we're going to do the stuff to call the current timestamp. And I just want to tell you something. In the toolbar, the last video, the toolbar was giving me an error, and the reason why it was giving me an error, it's because the toolbar that I imported was coming from the Android support library, not the Android X. So make sure if you are using the Android support library, make sure it's coming from the Android support library, and if you are using Android X, make sure it is Android X. So you have to go to your import and check that out and make sure you're doing the right thing. So as you can see, our code kind of look messy. It's like it's not arranged, it's not categorized. So what I want to do now is to create some packages, and then I'm going to put those packages, or put the files inside those packages. So the first one is a util package. Then the second one that I'm going to create here will be for our UI. So the UI will contain all our activities, and then the last one here is the adapter, where we will copy all of our adapter and put in it. So after you finish, you need to manually drag the files into each of the folders, or you can select multiple files by holding the control key while clicking to select multiple files. So I'm going to skip this ahead where I'll finish it, where I'll finish arranging everything. So after that here, I'm going to call a method here called set last seen. I'll just go ahead below and create that method called set last seen. So this method will look like this other method which is called get user data, because here we're going to go to the Firebase firestore and get the user data. But in the apps section, let's just look at the way we store the last time or the last scene of the user. So we set the online status to the timestamp if the user is not online, and then to the online if the user is online. So I'm going to copy this code from the get user data and then paste it inside of the set last seen here and do some modification. So first of all, yeah, we are going to the collection of the users, and we're navigating to the user ID, which is from the incoming user ID, which is the other person's ID. But inside of this library, we need to copy out the text view of the library, because it's from the text view of the library that we can use to display the last scene of the user. So I'm going to just highlight that, and I will press Ctrl C to copy this. Then I'm going to close out all this stuff, and I will go to my layouts, and then inside the layouts I will look for that text view. Don't worry, I'm doing this in fast mode, but I'll put the link to the source code in this description of this video. So I'll change the ID to time ago, and then I will make sure that should be at plus ID. And the next thing I'm going to do, just going to leave that text there. I'll replace the text view with the relative timestamp text view. Now after that, I will head over to the activity itself, and in here we are going to check if the value of the online is equals to the actual online, or if it is equals to a firestore timestamp. So here we'll use the if statement to check. I'm going to copy the other code down and copy some things inside the if statement, and I will try to modify it to fit my needs. So check here the snapshot is getting from the online, so check the value of the snapshot if it is equal to online. So if the value of the snapshot is equal to online, then we want to go ahead and set the text view. But I'll copy the text view, and I'm going to paste this so as to get reference to my text view. But the code is Java, so once I pasted it, Android Studio will ask me to convert it, and the conversion is done. So I'm just going to go ahead and import the arrow class, and also change the variable name and give it the actual ID of my timestamp. So here I'll just set the text to online if the user is online. Else I will have to calculate the current timestamp of the user. So first of all, we need to retrieve the value as a timestamp. So here I will create it here, and I will use the snapshot to get the value, and don't forget to cast it to a timestamp once you're done. So you say as timestamp. So this will get the value as a timestamp object, I beg your pardon. And don't worry about this code will not be needful, because we'll delete it immediately we're done. Now the next thing I will have to check here is to call the Java util date, because here we want to convert the timestamp to an actual date, and then from the date now we set a pattern that we want how we want our date to be displayed. And then after setting the pattern, this is the pattern code that I wrote. Now after setting the pattern, we want to go ahead and convert our dates to millis, and we want to do that inside the try and catch block. So here we are just catching a parse exception. Now inside the parse exception, I will use our simple date format and convert the simple date format to a string by using the sdf.parse, and I will convert our date, actually not the simple date format, convert the date to a string, and after converting the date to a string and getting the actual value as something called mDate, and we want to now convert the date to an actual time. Now the actual time will give us in the time in milliseconds, and the time library wants us to put the value as a millisecond, so that's why we converted it to a millisecond. As you can see, it's taking the new date, but actually milliseconds can also work. And then I will just set something called set reference time to our time millis. So this should work if you run it, but I'm not going to run this code here. I will do it in the next video. So thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you've not. Like my videos and share them with your friends. I guess I will see you in the next video.